Yeah, man, what's really good? It's your boy, Give It Up 100. Alright? What's really good out there with everybody that's gonna be listening to this video, man? Obviously, I'm only speaking to y'all. You know what I mean? I got a little subject matter I wanna go into. Nothing that's hot on social media, just something to go into for a second. Because I think a lot of people are confused in thinking that if you have kids, your kids is an extension of you, which is not true at all. If you believe that, I'm gonna correct you right now with this video, and I'm not gonna spend too long making this video because I'm tired of going 10 minutes and y'all only watching around 3 minutes. So I'm gonna get to my point rather fast. All right? Somebody calling me and shit. Listen, your kids has their own life, their own existence, and their own aura about them. Now, if you raise your kids to mimic every and anything you do and to just be a mirror image of you, then that might be a little different. But that's only because you raised them and you programmed them like that. Your kids is their own entity. It's like they're their own entity. They will be judged for the things that they did. You know, God is real. God is real. I got to remind y'all, God is real. And hell is real and heaven is real. They will be judged for what they did. They're not going to be judged for what their parents did. And their parents not going to get judged for what the fuck their kids do. So for everybody that's thinking that, you know, when I get to leave, when I die, I still got kids, so my life continues. No, it doesn't. It absolutely does not. Your life is over. When it's over, it's over. Usually, these people that say shit like that is people that don't believe in God. People that never picked up a Bible a day in their life. That your life doesn't end if you have kids. So if you don't have kids, it's just over, right? That's the only way you're over. You're done and over with. One thing society can do after you pass is let your legacy, whatever you was known for, whatever you was trying to do, we could continue your legacy. If you was if you made music, if you were an architect, if whatever the hell you was, we can let that legacy live on. We can keep teaching future generations about you and what you did. And that's been going on forever. That's why we know about dudes like Mozart and, you know, people like that from back in the 1700s. This dude was around in the 1700s, and we go to school and learn about Mozart. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. And dudes that make the history books, Christopher Columbus and, you know, whoever else. You know what I'm saying? We let their legacy live on. But their life is over. Their kids, they got kids. Their kids out here living for themselves. You cannot live for somebody else. You have your own existence. Okay? And when your existence is up, that is it. What is happening after you die? How relevant is it? Is it relevant? Is it relevant to you? Do you know what's going on? Are you still cognitive of what's going on in the world after you die? So even if your kids is the extension of you, what benefit does it have to you? Absolutely none at all. This type of, like I said, this type of understanding or, you know, way of thinking is rooted in people that don't believe in God. Because if you believe in God, you know that when your time is up, it's over. Whether you go here or there, heaven or hell, that's what it comes down to. If you got right with God, you should feel pretty confident that you're going to be with God. Like I had a grandmother. My grandmother passed away in 2022, and she was a Christian woman since 1992. And I'm sure and I want to believe, and I'm convicted in believing that my grandmother is with God. I want to believe that, and I believe that because she lived the right way. She lived to about 86, somewhere around, mid 80s. And she wasn't perfect, but God is not expecting for none of us to be perfect. God is expecting for us to be obedient and follow his rules and laws and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And love your neighbor and do the right things. You have a conscience. You know when you're doing wrong. You know when you're doing right. This is what God expects from us, not perfection. So my grandmother was not perfection, but she was walking, walking with God, if you will. Like, you know what I'm saying? She lived a righteous life. And my grandmother had 9 kids. One passed away, but everybody else was still living. And none of them are an extension of my grandmother. I don't see it like that. I personally don't see it like that. I was in Florida. I'm back in Connecticut now, but I was in Florida when my mother called me and told me that, because that's her mother, you know, that's her mother. So my mother called me and told me that, you know, she passed away. I immediately broke down. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But my point is, my mother don't remind me of my grandmother in any type of way. I don't look at her as an extension of my grandmother at all, or my other aunts or uncles. Also, my grandfather passed away. You know, he passed in, I believe, 2016. And nobody is extending his life. That doesn't even sound right, right? Nobody is an extension of him. His life is over. You know what I'm saying? I can only say rest in peace. He wasn't a man of God, but I can say rest in peace to him. I love him to death. And I wish wherever he's at, wherever his soul is at right now, he's in peace. We can hope. We can hope. Because it doesn't matter how good of a person you are. If you did not get right with God, you don't have a connection with God. So when this life is over, you don't gain a connection. You still don't have a connection. Because a lot of people are living their life disconnected from God completely. But then when they die, everybody want to rest in peace. She's in heaven, he's in heaven. This is when motherfuckers make up their own rules about everything. You ignore the Bible, you ignore the word of God completely, and you make up your own shit because it's convenient to what you want to believe. What God said, you know, God's way of living is very difficult. But making up your own way of living is nonsensical. Doesn't make sense. But that's what I wanted to say. Your kids is not an extension of you. They are their own people. They will be judged for all the things they did, not what you did. All right? It's your boy, Give It Up, man. I'm back on the scene. Hopefully, y'all listen to this whole video. I'll be back soon with another one. Y'all know me. I'm out.